It is 7:48 a.m. The kitchen smells of burnt toast and rising panic. You are standing in the doorway. Your coffee is cold. Your patience is thinner than paper. In front of you stands Phoenix. He is 5 years old. He is brilliant. He is beautiful. And right now, he is a statue of defiance. His backpack is on the floor. His shoes are untied. His socks are mismatched. You have asked once. You have asked twice. Phoenix, you say. And you can hear the edge in your own voice, that sharp, metallic sound that you hate. Put your shoes on. He looks at you. He holds your gaze. Then, he slowly picks up a Lego brick and connects it to another. Click. The sound snaps something inside you. We know this feeling. We, the exhausted parents of the modern world. We know the heat that rises up the back of the neck. We know the sudden, irrational fear that if we cannot make this small human put on a shoe, we have failed at everything. You do what you always do. You escalate. I am counting to 3, you warn. The threat hangs in the air, heavy and useless. 1. Phoenix doesn't move. 2. You see a flicker of calculation in his eyes. He is learning. He is learning that 1 and 2 are meaningless. He is learning that he doesn't have to move until you lose control. 3, you shout. Your voice cracks. Phoenix jumps. He cries. He shoves his feet into the shoes, tears streaming down his face, his movements jerky and angry. You get to the car. You are on time. But as you grip the steering wheel, your knuckles white, you feel hollow. You won the battle. But looking at his red, puffy face in the rearview mirror, you know you are losing the war. Saturday. The grocery store, the bright, fluorescent lights hum with a headache-inducing frequency. You are tired. It has been a long week of deadlines and demands. You just need milk, eggs, and peace. But Phoenix wants the cereal with the cartoon dragon on the box. The one that is essentially red dye and sugar. No, buddy, you say, trying to keep your voice light. Not today. And then, the storm breaks. It isn't a whimper. It is a siren. Phoenix throws his head back. He lets out a scream that seems too large for his small chest. He drops to the linoleum floor, his body arching, his limbs flailing. A can of soup is kicked. It rolls away. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Silence falls over, ASL 4. You feel them before you see them. The eyes. A woman in a beige coat pauses, shaking her head slightly. An older man sighs, loud enough for you to hear. We know what you are thinking. We feel the shame burning your cheeks. You feel stripped naked. In their eyes, you are not a loving father who read 3 bedtime stories last night. You are just incompetent, a pushover, the owner of the bad kid. The pressure mounts. It sits on your chest like a stone. The voice in your head, the voice of your own father, perhaps, or society whispers to you, make him stop, punish him, show them you are in control, don't let him win. Your hand twitches. You want to grab his arm. You want to hiss through your teeth. If you don't stop this instant, you will never see a screen again. You want to use fear, because fear is fast. Fear is quiet. Fear makes the strangers look away. But then, you remember. You remember the video you watched late last night, when the house was quiet. You remember the Japanese word, shitsuke, teaching the body, not breaking the spirit. You look at Phoenix. He is not a monster. He is 5. His prefrontal cortex, the captain of his brain, has abandoned the ship. He is drowning in a chemical soup of cortisol and frustration. He is terrified of his own lack of control. If you scream now, you are just joining him in the chaos. Gammon, the Japanese concept of patient endurance. The ability to remain calm in the face of the storm. It is the hardest thing you have ever tried to do. Every nerve in your body is screaming, action. But you choose stillness. You do not grab him. You do not yell. Instead, you slowly lower yourself. You crouch down. You are now at his eye level, but you keep your distance. You are not invading his space. You are simply occupying yours. You take a breath. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Phoenix is still screaming, but he senses the shift. He expects the thunder of your voice. Instead, he finds a mountain, silent, immovable, present. We struggle here, with you. We know how much you want to fix it, to stop the noise. But you realize that your calmness is the only rope you can throw him. You are practicing Mimamoru, watching over, benevolent observation. You look at him, not with anger, but with a scientific curiosity. You see his small fists clenched. You see the flush on his neck. You see a boy who does not know how to handle the word no. The woman in the beige coat is still watching. Let her watch. This is not a performance for her. This is a lifeline for him. You wait. 1 minute feels like an hour. But then, The screams turn into sobs. The arch in his back softens. He peeks at you through his fingers. He sees that you haven't turned into a monster. You are still Austin. You are still Dad. You are safe. The noise in Isle 4 has subsided to a wet, hiccuping sniffle. Phoenix sits up. He looks exhausted. You feel exhausted too, but you are also proud. You didn't lose it. Now comes the pivot. The old you would say, "Get up. Look at this mess. You should be ashamed of yourself." But Shinsuke is not about shame. It is about ownership. You keep your voice low, soft, like a secret. "Phoenix," you say. You wait for his eyes to meet yours. "You had a really big feeling." He nods. His chin trembles. "We are in the middle of the grocery store," you say. You look around at the space, inviting him to look too. "What is the plan?" You do not give a command. You ask a question. "What is the plan?" We can see the gears turning in his head. You have just rebooted his brain. You have bypassed the emotional center and tapped on the door of his logic. He stammers. He wipes his nose on his sleeve. "I need to get up?" It comes out as a question. He is testing the waters. "That sounds like a strong start," you say. You do not help him up. You let him find his own gravity. He stands. He looks at the can of soup he kicked. It is lying 5 feet away, a silver cylinder of guilt. You say nothing. You just look at the can, then back at him. Quiet modeling. Phoenix walks over. He picks up the can. He puts it back on the shelf. It is crooked, but it is there. "The list says we need eggs," you say, simply moving the narrative forward. "Do you know where they are?" He points. "By the milk." "Lead the way," you say. And just like that, the prisoner becomes the navigator. That night, the house is quiet. The chaos of the morning feels like a distant memory, but you know it will return. Unless you change the architecture. You sit at the kitchen table with a marker and a piece of poster board. Routine as neural architecture. You call Phoenix over. "Buddy, I'm tired of yelling in the morning. Are you tired of me yelling?" "Yes," he says. "You are loud." "I know," you admit. "Let's fix it. We need a map." Together, you draw. You are not an artist, and neither is he, but that makes it better. You draw a toothbrush, brush teeth. You draw a t-shirt, get dressed. You draw a bowl, eat breakfast. And finally, you draw the shoes. "Shoes on. This is your boss," you tell him, tapping the paper. "Not me. The paper is the boss." When you wake up, you ask the paper what to do. He laughs. He likes the idea of a paper boss. The next morning. It is not perfect. Phoenix stands in the kitchen, barefoot. He looks at you, waiting for the command, waiting for the familiar dance of resistance. You bite your tongue. You bite it hard. Instead of "put your shoes on," you ask, "What does the map say?" He blinks. He looks at the wall. He sees the drawing of the shoes. "Shoes," he whispers. And then, he goes to get them. He struggles with the Velcro. He puts the left shoe on the right foot. You want to jump in. You want to fix it. You want to hurry him up. But you practice Mimamoru. You watch from a distance. You let him struggle. Because in the struggle, competence is born. When he finishes, he looks at you. He stands taller. He didn't do it because he was scared of the count to 3. He did it because he knew the plan. 3 weeks later, the sun is setting, casting long, golden shadows across the living room floor. You are sitting on the couch, reading. Phoenix is building a tower of magnetic tiles. It crashes. Crash. In the past, this would be the trigger. The scream, the throw, the meltdown. You lower your book. You watch. You wait. Phoenix's face turns red. His hands ball into fists. He takes a sharp breath. He looks ready to explode. But then, he stops. He looks at his hands. He takes a breath. A shaky one, but a breath. "I am frustrated," he says. The words are heavy, but they are words, not screams. "This tower is stupid. It is frustrating when things fall." You agree quietly. He sits there for a moment, vibrating with the leftover energy. Then, he stands up. He walks over to you and climbs onto the couch. He buries his face in your shoulder. "I need a hug," he says. You wrap your arms around him. You smell the shampoo in his hair and the faint scent of dirt from the playground. "I held it together," he mumbles into your shirt. "I know you did," you whisper. "I saw you. That was incredibly strong." We, the parents, often think our job is to control the weather, to stop the rain, to banish the storms. But we are realizing now, our job is to build the shelter, to be the lighthouse. You realize that Shinsuke isn't about the shoes. It isn't about the cereal. It isn't about the quiet classroom. It is about this moment. It is about a boy who learned that his emotions are not a fire that consumes him, but a wave that he can surf. It is about a father who learned that his authority does not come from the volume of his voice, but from the depth of his connection. Phoenix pulls away. He looks at the scattered tiles. I have a new plan, he says. I will make the base wider. That, you smile, sounds like a solid plan. He slides off the couch. He goes back to work. And you pick up your book, but you don't read. You just watch him. You watch the way his small hands move with purpose. You watch the compass needle of his own internal discipline settle, pointing true north. And for the first time in a long time, the house is peaceful. Not because you forced it to be, but because you taught it how to be.